Hello guys, I know you're probably thinking I'm going to do another beekeeping video and maybe you even think that this is a beekeeping channel, but I got an update for you guys. In my description it's always said that I'm not even a YouTuber and that this is not a beekeeping channel. And what I've done was I have a podcast called Benevolent Vibes, which is more about the metaphysical and like self-improvement starting from within in that sort of way. I have an Instagram called Podrasky Holistics, and that is about fitness related stuff, health type things. And of course I have this YouTube channel, and I've been putting my bees on there. For one thing, it's my first year of raising bees, my first hive that I'm actually raising. And I'm just kind of showing you guys all the things that I'm doing to try to maintain my hive so that maybe you can learn something from it and also be entertained by just watching a new guy trying to figure it out. But all that stuff has one commonality, and that is holistic wellness. So in regard to the bees, we have to take care of the world we live in, and the bees do a great job for our planet and pollination and making sure that we have the fruits and vegetables and that the plant life in general can carry on in a good way, and therefore it provides for us as people. So I figured to centralize it all, I have a blog called donnypodcast.com. And actually all of those platforms, including this YouTube channel, are an extension of donnypodcast.com. So my channel is really about holistic wellness, and in this episode I'm going to share some tips about eliminating back pain while also improving posture. A lot of people don't realize that the same tensions that cause pain in the upper back, for example, are the same tensions that cause a bad posture, where your shoulders come forward, your head comes forward, and you start getting like a hunch in your back. And to counteract that, there's two parts to that equation. One is stretching the pecs and other muscles to open up that posture. And likewise in the lower back, if you have a lot of curve in the low back and it's causing you issues, you could stretch like hip flexors, for example. Now I have 2 new posts on my blog about each of those things. The one about the upper back, we use the term tech neck, how to alleviate tech neck with stretches, and then also how to alleviate low back pain with stretches. So those are 2 different blog posts that you'll find at donnypodcast.com that talk to you in more detail about how to go about doing that. But that's basically the principle, is you have to stretch the muscles that are causing a difficulty in maintaining a good posture, or even preventing you from being able to be in a good posture. And then you have to strengthen the muscles that support the good posture. So in the upper back example, what you could do is things that contract the rhomboids and the traps and help bring your neck back and strengthen the erector spinae muscles, for example. And in my latest blog post, I write in detail about exercises to tone up those muscles and strengthen the posture so that you can actually alleviate back pain, upper back pain, lower back pain, mid back pain with these certain stretches. So just to walk you through a few examples, and pardon my self-made demonstrations, but it's just to give you an example. For the upper back, you could do any sort of a rowing motion. There's dumbbell rows, there's bent over towel rows, which are really great because you could do them at home even if you don't own dumbbells. All you have to do is bend over and retract the scapula back, bring your elbows back, and really feel the work being done in the rhomboids and traps for that, for example. And so I like that one because it's safe for most people, even like seniors who aren't sure if they really even want to lift a weight at all can start with something like that, and your own body creates the resistance so you can kind of grow into that and make it more challenging. Then of course there's the resistance band. You just put the resistance band around some sort of a hard point, like maybe a pole, for example, and then you could just do rows with the resistance band. In addition to that, if you want to do more of like a rowing motion with like a lot more challenge to it, and yet you're still not using weights, you could get these rings that I got from Amazon, and I use them pretty regularly for the same purpose. What I did was I hung them from a tree, and then I did rows by pulling myself up. Either one of those things, any of those things that you want to do, maybe like even one set is good, up to like 12 reps, for example. But generally people will do like 1 to 3 sets, and they'll do up to 12 reps, as if you're building muscle, because really you kind of want to build that muscle as well as just engage the muscles and get that physiologic tension established that's going to support the posture. Now the rows from the rings in particular, you're in like a reverse plank position, and that's really going to engage the whole back, so you'll feel like a strong mid-back workout, a good low back workout. You'll even feel it in the glutes and hamstrings, all those things that support that whole plank position. So even though I classify it as like a upper back workout, it's really working your whole back, and you might say that you feel like it's working your mid and low back more than it is your upper. It depends on you. Other things that are still going to work the whole back, but I feel like they focus more on the mid and low back, are skydivers, where you can lay down on the floor or a yoga mat or whatnot, and you literally mimic the position of a skydiver who's like falling out of a plane and they're about to do some parachuting. And you could either do a static hold on that, or you could do reps of it, however you want to do that. Similar to the skydivers, there's reverse snow angels, where if you've ever made snow angels, or I think people in Florida jokingly call them sand angels, where you lay on your back and you do like that sweeping motion with your arms and your legs in the snow, for example, if you're up north. And it's like that, except for you're laying on your stomach, and there's a couple of different variations, but I like the variation where you keep your arms and your legs off the floor as well as your head. So you're lifting your knees off the floor, you're keeping your arms off the floor, you're keeping your head off the floor, and you're doing like a snow angel motion all the way through the range from the top to the bottom with your hands, and opening the legs and closing them as wide as you comfortably can. And what that'll do is it'll engage the muscles in the upper back, as well as you'll definitely feel it in your low back and mid back, especially if you're keeping your knees and feet off the floor and using your legs with the snow angels, as I like to do them. And then in particular, I like to think it's a low back thing, because that's the thing that people would basically suffer from if they didn't have a strong enough core. But the next thing is core workouts, and two good ones that anyone can do, almost anyone. Everyone has different health situation or whatever. So by the way, don't take any of this as medical advice or anything. Definitely make sure it's safe for you to do by consulting a doctor before you try it. But pretty much most people can do a plank position on their forearms, and that will really engage the core. And if you keep a straight posture, which in the image I provided of my plank, my posture is not that great in that one. I think I was actually attempting that shot a bunch of times and it wasn't coming out too sharp. So by the time I actually got a shot that was in focus, I was cheating on it just to keep up the position. But that's the point. It really challenges the core, the transversus abdominis in particular, which helps suck in the gut and help stabilize your spine. And that's where a lot of people are weak when it comes to having mid-back pain, or especially low back pain, is they come in whenever they're seeing me for massage. If you guys don't know, for a day job I do massage and other holistic wellness things such as qigong, raw sitter, health coaching, but most of my work is body work. So when my clients come and they see me about low back pain, a lot of times they're kind of just getting a massage and hopefully they enjoy it or something, but I really don't expect results, because when I interview them about their back pain, there's no like tension that I can help them with. It's not like they have tight hip flexors or tight quads, or one of their calves is too short or something like that. A lot of time these people are coming in and they basically just don't have any core strength, and they'll tell me that, oh, they don't do anything working out whatsoever, they don't do any sort of core workouts, and they might not even be doing stretching. So I can try to lengthen the muscles that are pulling against the low back, such as the quads, the calves, do like a glute stretch, for example. But if the core strength isn't there, there's no reason why they should have really any good results, or at least not lasting ones, because a lot of times people don't really have a reason for why their back would be hurting, except that they don't have enough core strength to support their spine. So it causes them to easily throw out their back, or to easily get a muscle that's over fatigued and achiness. Another great workout or exercise, whatever you want to call it, because you could just make it its own workout if you wanted to, is crucifix crunches. I really love those because if you do like regular sit-ups or whatnot and you get really good at them, you could do like more than 100 of them in perfect form and still barely be getting to a point where you feel like, okay, now I'm starting to feel the burn, I just gotta keep going till my abs are exhausted or something. And in my opinion, that's minimally effective to help with strengthening your core and supporting your spine, because in strengthening, really, you're building muscle, and to build muscle you generally want to do something that's hard enough that you could barely do it for 12 reps. And so crucifix crunches are really good, because even without the addition of additional weight, someone who's in pretty good physical condition might find that it's really challenging to do 12 crucifix crunches. And so to do that, you're basically laying in the floor with your arms out and your feet together. Your feet are off the floor, your legs are straight, your arms are off the floor, your head's off the floor, and that already, just holding that position, is a good core strengthening exercise. You'll definitely feel it burn, especially if you want to hold it for a prolonged amount of time. Then what you do is you sit up into a boat pose in yoga. So boat pose, your arms are straight and you're basically going past your knees, and you bring your knees in, you're balancing on your hips, and your back's, I think it's supposed to be basically straight, a good straight posture with your back. So that's boat pose. So you're basically going down into the crucifix position and sitting up into boat pose and doing it slowly and methodically, really feeling the tension and the work being done. If you do it nice and slow, like 3 seconds up and 4 seconds down for each rep, and especially if you've never done it before, you might find that like by like the 8th rep, you're feeling a lot of burn in the core, and you could tell you're really working those muscles. So really that's a pretty good basis for supporting the posture. And I think if you haven't really been doing postural work to help support your spine, then you might start finding relief within a couple weeks of incorporating these type of things. And even if you separate them, say how people like to lift weights, they'll do like an upper body day and like a leg day. If you kind of do those things like once a week and really give it a good effort, I imagine that within 2 or 3 weeks, you'd probably already start feeling that your posture's stronger, that you're feeling less pain, and those muscles are getting achy at a later time in your day. Let's say if you're working at a computer and you usually feel like an upper back or neck ache, you might find that that ache starts to set in a couple hours later in the day, and eventually it starts to take longer. So if I can remember everything I just put in this video, some basic exercises to strengthen posture muscles to help you improve your posture, plus alleviate aches and pains, common aches and pains that people tend to have, is you could do rowing type exercises. I went over several of them here. You can do skydivers, reverse snow angels, crucifix crunches, and planks. And if I haven't left anything out, even that list that I just mentioned is going to be a really good start to strengthening all the muscles that people tend not to spend enough time strengthening, the muscles that tend to be over elongated chronically from all the things we're doing, whether it's driving or typing at a computer. But one caveat is, no matter how strong those muscles get, they might not be able to bring you into a good posture, and you're definitely going to work too hard getting into a good posture if the muscles that oppose them are not long enough to allow you to get into a good posture. So that being said, check out donniepodcast.com, that's my blog, and look at the articles I have about stretching for tech neck, stretching to alleviate low back pain, and in my opinion, probably more importantly than any of that, maybe even more importantly than these strengthening things I'm telling you about to strengthen the postural muscles, is improving your ergonomics in the work that you're doing. I wrote a post about how to improve the ergonomics of your desk so you're feeling less aches and pains in your upper back and just helping with those computer-related issues. So definitely check out that post on how to improve the ergonomics of your desk, because if you start with really good ergonomics and you improve things such as changing your chair, the position of your monitor, keyboard, implement like a standing desk, for example, and there's other ergonomic fixes as well that can help you work more comfortably and irritate those muscles less. If you do all that, I think you'll already start to feel some relief in all those technology-related issues that people tend to feel when they work a job either from home or just at a desk in general. Again, that post, just like the others, is at donnypodcast.com. I'll put a link to my podcast, my Instagram, my blog, and those 3 articles that I mentioned in that blog specifically as well. Also, I'll put a link in the description for the rings that I use, that I hang in the oak tree. It's an Amazon affiliate link. If you decide to order those rings, that might help me out as far as my affiliate membership, because actually I don't have like a huge social media following or anything, and I wouldn't put anything in any of my media with an Amazon link unless it's something that I really believe in, that usually I'm using myself. For example, in my blog I mentioned this chair that I use, these rings. I have those things, I actually use them myself and I'm happy with them, and that's why I put Amazon links to help other people find good products that work for them. So you'll be helping me out with that Amazon link, and I'm not just putting links to affiliate stuff to try to earn an extra buck or anything like that, not without me believing in the product and using it and knowing that it's actually a good product. So you can check those links out in the description. I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and let me know in the comments on my blog if you found any of these tips in this video, which I'm also putting in my blog, to be helpful for your aches and pains that maybe you're feeling from the type of work that you have to do. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. In the future, the next bee video I'm trying to make, I want to do a sugar roll video, but the weather has not been cooperating with me on the little bit of time I do have to get into my hive. So a lot of times I only have enough time to really get in the hive, replace beetle traps, make sure everything's going okay, that we still have a queen and everything, and then I have to pack it all up before the rain starts coming. But in the future, if you like my beekeeping videos, don't worry, I'm putting them all on the beekeeping playlist. And that's the next video I hope to do while the season's still good enough that I can do it without my bees getting really angry and stinging me. So thank you for watching, and check out my blog. Any updates in my Instagram, my YouTube, my podcast, that's all going to be there if something new is coming out, such as this video. And that's all I have for now. Hope that was helpful.